Hello, friends. Welcome to Dark Whispers. Get ready to dive into spine-chilling tales and uncover hidden mysteries. The Whispering Woods. For centuries, the town of Ravenshollow carried an unspoken fear. The Whispering Woods, stretching endlessly on the edge of town. The forest was both a sanctuary and a prison. No one who wandered too deep ever came back, and those who stood too close at night swore they could hear the trees whisper. It all began with a story no one dared to repeat. Long ago, a coven of witches, betrayed by the townsfolk, was burned alive at the heart of the woods. Their dying curse vowed to bind their souls to the forest, making it a gateway between life and something much darker. But curiosity knows no bounds. Lisa, Ben, Claire, and Ryan, high school friends and amateur paranormal investigators, thought the tales were just folklore. Armed with cameras, a drum, and a healthy dose of skepticism, they decided to spend the night in the woods, live-streaming their adventure to debunk the legend. As they entered the forest at twilight, the air changed. It was thicker, heavier, as if something unseen was watching. The deeper they went, the quieter the forest became. No crickets chirped, no leaves rustled, just an oppressive, deafening silence. "Did you hear that?" Claire whispered, freezing mid-step. The others shook their heads, but then they heard it to a faint, distant whisper. It wasn't the wind, it was human. "Leave," the voice hissed, so soft it was almost drowned out by the pounding of their hearts. Lisa tried to laugh it off. "Probably just the wind through the trees," she said, her voice trembling, but the whispers didn't stop. They pressed on, finding eerie markings carved into the trees, symbols none of them recognized. Ben took pictures, muttering about researching them later, but his bravado faded as the symbols grew more elaborate and fresh. When they stumbled upon an abandoned campsite, their unease deepened. A torn tent, scattered belongings, and claw marks etched into the surrounding trees told a story of someone who left in a hurry or didn't leave at all. Then the whispers grew louder. "Don't look back." Ryan, the bravest of the group, laughed nervously. "This is just local kids messing with us," he said, spinning around to prove his point. But his laughter died when he saw nothing, just trees and shadows that seemed to shift when no one was looking. Suddenly, Claire screamed. She pointed to the drone feed on her phone. The camera, flying overhead, captured something moving, something fast and inhuman darting between the trees, a figure cloaked in shadow. Panic set in, and they decided to leave, but no matter which way they turned, the forest seemed to stretch endlessly. Their phones lost signal. The path they came from was gone. And then the forest began to change. The trees closed in, their twisted branches reaching down like skeletal hands. The ground beneath their feet became soft, almost alive, as if something was shifting beneath the soil. One by one, the group began to vanish. Ryan was the first, his scream cutting through the air, before being swallowed by silence. Claire and Ben ran in opposite directions, only to find themselves back at the same clearing, face to face with Lisa, who was no longer Lisa. Her eyes were black pits, her face unnaturally pale, and her mouth curled into an inhuman smile. "You shouldn't have come here," she whispered, her voice layered with others. Claire and Ben fled, but the forest wouldn't let them go. The whispers became deafening, the shadows alive, and the air thick with the stench of decay. By dawn, there was no sign of the group. The only clue was a single camera, found at the edge of the woods. Its footage too disturbing to release. It showed glimpses of their final moments, twisted faces appearing in the darkness, unnatural laughter, and the group being pulled into the shadows by unseen forces. The last frame was a close-up of Lisa's face, now monstrous, as she whispered, "Come and play." To this day, no one ventures into the Whispering Woods, but if you listen closely on a still night, you might hear the whispers calling your name. Thanks for watching Dark Whispers. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, stay curious and stay spooky.